Well, the first thing that we all must do is start to take control of our mind, our state, our emotions. Because if anybody gets stuck in life or they start going wrong in aspects of their life, it's usually something that has started some sort of discomfort within themselves. People try to take a good decision when they're feeling bad, and if they find that they can't change their own state or their own mind, then some people will develop irrational behaviours to actually change their state.
Okay, so we can end up at a subconscious level, changing our capacity to perform and deliver as well as we're capable of.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I try to bring about techniques that will simplify the whole procedure for people. There's a lot of stuff out there in psychology and through the unconscious, whether hypnosis or NLP. A lot of people tend to find it complicating if they haven't studied that. A lot of my work over the years has been with youth, through youth programs here in America and Canada. So they've been actually my best teachers. I've had to take all my experience in my work and I've had to simplify it. And I found over the years that it actually works better with adults, because our life is so complicated that if I give you a complicated program, then you're not going to be able to implement that in your everyday life, and you're going to associate discomfort to it.
Okay, let's take a very, very near at hand and very relevant example. I'm sitting across a desk from you. We can't really see each other terribly well because of the microphones. I'm surrounded by a plethora of equipment, which I'm barely equipped to run properly. But I've got timings to watch from three different sources. I've got to check that our levels are good. I've got to be sure that I'm going to play the next track in. It's the right track. There are dozens and dozens of things going on. How would you help me to simplify that?
Okay. Well, when we're asked to perform anything in life, whether it's in business, whether it's in performing arts or sport, or just, everyday life in general, the first thing that you will experience, or anyone else, is a feeling. Okay? If you brought somebody new into this industry and you sat them down and give them that overload, the first thing that they will experience is stress. Okay? So that's the first feeling that has to be replaced, and it must be replaced with a feeling of confidence and self-assurance. Okay, so that's the first part of my program.
Now that's easier said than done. How do you set about that?
Confidence, again, there's a perception. I see a lot of people who tell me they've lost confidence.
Okay.
Confidence is not something that you lose. It's only a feeling. It comes and goes. Nobody's confident at everything, every aspect in their life, and nobody's confident all the time. If you know the origin of human confidence, you can go in and get some when you need it, whether it's for an exam, an interview, a sales meeting, performing on stage in front of 10,000 people. Doesn't matter. It's just something that you need to enhance. But that feeling will communicate with your brain that you are capable, and all the systems will begin to work properly.
I'm just going to drag you back to performing on stage, because you've had some spectacular success with enabling people to perform on stage. How did you set about doing that when people had, and okay, you can't lose your confidence, but they, as far as they were concerned, had lost their confidence? How do you help them to regain or find or plumb into or tap into the confidence they need to go back on stage after several failures?
Well, first it's breaking down the belief that they're broke, and the reverse psychology, what they're all practicing, trying to get rid of fear, trying to get rid of anxiety and stress. The good thing is that we only have one nervous system, and you can only feel one thing at once. I can't feel cold and warm at the same time. I can't feel happy or sad at the same time. I can't feel confident and frightened at the same time. So I teach them to focus on what they want, how they want to feel. And then I teach them the origin of human confidence, which comes from a human being's past. If we're sitting here today and if I'm asking you about your achievements in life, and your resources and your strengths, you're going to feel very confident in yourself. If I'm asking you about your failures, things you never finished, or things that you perceive as a weakness in your life, then you're going to have to go into those memories, and you have an association with those, and you begin to feel small, and you might feel stressed or feel a bit down. So you get what you focus on in life. So you focus on what you want. You focus on in times in your life when you felt confident. If you're going on to speak on a stage and you don't feel confident speaking to an audience, if you're confident at baking buns and you're focusing on that, it's impossible for you not to feel that confidence generating in your nervous system again. So it's about manipulating your own mind.
Okay, so you're almost indulging in a personal con trick. You're saying, okay, don't think about what's worrying you now. Think about things you're good at, and you will transfer the feelings about good at X into what you're about to do, which is frightening you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
An interesting idea. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what people are likely to learn on Friday.
On Friday, they will learn how my program was put together, why it was put together, and what the program entails, and how they can hopefully take something away that they will be able to use, and maybe parts of it that they don't necessarily need, they will be able to pass that on to friends who need it, or maybe their own children, because my program is an ABC of how we all work.
Okay.
On a conscious and an unconscious level. It's just stages the mind goes through, whether you have to overcome an obstacle in your life or whether you're chasing a goal. It doesn't matter what you perceive that goal to be.
Okay, so if you'd just like to tell people how, or tell me at least, how we can get onto your seminar on Friday. What time is it? How do we get tickets or whatever we need?
Okay, it's at 7 p.m. at Stranmillis College, and if you go to my website, which is seanconnolly.info, there is a page with programs, and people can book their ticket online, the link, to make sure that, because there's only 100 seats in the auditorium, they can come and pay at the door, but if there's no room, if there's no seats left, then
well, absolutely. Then you'd never be able to take control of your own life, would you?
yeah.
Okay, Sean. Listen, it's been very fascinating talking with you this morning. I felt a slight sense of threat myself, given that you're, I suppose, one of your main attributes is you're a performance coach, and that's what I'm doing today. But hey, it was fun, and certainly a lot of good learning, and a lot more good learning is possible at 7 p.m. on Friday night at Stranmillis University College. Just Google www.seanconnolly.info and you'll find out even more. Sean, thanks very much for coming in today.
Thank you, Mike, for having me.
No
Thanks
problem.
very much.